What's going on, guys? It's Greg Farley from the Wise Guys. I'm here with another deck profile of my main man Brandon holding the camera for me. A lot of people have been asking about the Mekk-knight build for Crusadia, so that's what I'm going to do. I have plenty of other decks. This is the one that was requested the most. I mean, people were inboxing me on Facebook about it. Cyber Dragon stuff, so on and so forth. Cyber Dragon one's coming. GOAT format videos and tutorials coming. There's so much stuff. Box openings. Alistair, Link, deck profile. So I could talk all day about that stuff, but let's get into it. This is Mekk-knight Crusadia. This is my take on it. There is one card that I don't have that I would like to talk about, but starting off, you know, you got to play the Maximus. He's the double up. He's the knockout punch in the deck. I think everybody pretty much knows that. I'm not going to talk too much about that. Crusadia Leonis is the one that you special into the zone, and it gives the monster trample when you activate his effect. Of course, you got Draco still. Still play 3. I'm still playing 3 of all of them. Of course, Ouroboros is the defense, and this is the recursion. You guys pretty much know that stuff. Still know that they chain block with the Link monsters. Reclusia, I'm still playing 3. Some people cut this to 2. I still believe in 3. Just my opinion. I feel like having spot removal is important in any deck, and searchable spot removal is obviously a good thing. I'm still playing 1 crown. I feel like 1 crown for when you go first is still kind of necessary. I'll get into the extra deck reason why you might want to play more of it later, but kind of don't need to. And then the spice for this deck, 3 Purple Nightfall, Mekk-knight Purple Nightfall, for obvious reasons. It's a broken card, and these ratios can change. This is just how I'm playing it right now. 3 Blue Sky, the Searcher. So they both search, obviously, but Purple Nightfall is the more broken one. And then Indigo Eclipse is the nutty one, because you can special him into the zone that Equimax is pointing to, and then give Equimax damage. And just in case that off chance you can't kill him, then you can slide, so just a kind of visual, you can slide Eclipse away from Equimax and then attack for game. That's very rare that ever happens. Usually you're going to one-shot somebody, but you play Eclipse for that reason. Plus it's just broken anyway with the Mekk-knights, and you kind of have to play them if you're playing Mekk-knights. And then of course we still got the Kaijus. I'm only playing 3. Still feel like that's the right number. I don't like 4. With the Slumber, the first spell. It's kind of weird. There's no hand traps, and that's just weird. But I feel like the deck's trying to walk through stuff, and I feel like Kaijus handle a lot of stuff. Obviously Goki, but we're thinking about into the future when the new Link comes out. You might just want to power through everything. I don't know what you're really trying to stop with hand traps. I'd probably play in permanents if I did play 1. You got World Legacy Succession, which I'll get into because that's very important for something else. But you obviously play 1. Power, Revival, Reborn. I'm actually playing 2 Power. Forgot about that. Vanguard, the protector of the monsters. 2 Desires. This is what I wanted to talk about. This can be Pinpoint Landing or Desires. Pinpoint Landing is broken with the Mekk-knights, and he's broken with Crusadia in general. So I feel like Pinpoint Landing is a good card. It's kind of a toss-up. And Desires gives you cards, but then you lose certain cards. But you always want that +1 instead of just replacing it with the other card, the Pinpoint Landing. But Pinpoint Landing is broken in this deck. Called by the Grave. You know, you got to walk through people's hand traps, so you're really just trying to power through everything. And then the Twin Twisters. So, like, a couple of these things can change, but I feel like these are kind of staple. But I feel like you kind of have to do that. I feel like Power is I was playing it at 1, and I just wasn't seeing it enough, and I want to be able to play through people's boards. I'm not going to do a side deck, but I am going to do stuff that's kind of recommended. Obviously, if you're playing Cyber Dragon anywhere, you want these. The Rescue Cat stuff, but it dies hard to Ash. The Reboot, because it sets up the Mekk-knights, you can make them set another card. If they choose not to, that's fine. You just stop them for the turn and trap stun them. But if not, then you can create another column and then special a Mekk-knight into that column. And then, you know, that does that. So Reboot, there's plenty of other cards I could talk about. But then where's the fun in deck building? Sky Striker is another one. But getting into the extra deck looks pretty much the same. I'm still playing 3, but these numbers can change for space for other cards. Obviously, you know, that's pretty blatant. The card I wanted to talk about is Mekk-knight of the Morning Star, because you can search out the World Legacy Succession with this card, and that's kind of important. And then it points down a diagonal, so it's like you can keep climbing and get to Equimax, I guess, anyway, because make sure I'm the 2 effect monsters, one being a Crusadia, obviously. So you can still get there, and then he can kind of set up the Equimax. So he's not super duper important, but it's kind of semi-important. I thought it is an interesting card, and the card is cheap. You know, the deck already is cheap, but he's cheap, so why not pick him up? Still got the Nat Beast just in case. That's just theoretically. You know, you got the Cyber Dragon stuff if you're not playing that. The Boral Sword, not really needed, but you know, it's there. This can be anything. I feel like Boar Load is needed because sometimes there's something you can't attack over because you didn't draw a Kaiju, so on and so forth, and then 2 of the Nightmares. So that's just how I see that. You know, you still got the Wise Guys Field Center. It's still blinged out, blinded by the light. I feel like you could also mix Sky Strikers into this, but at that point, what are you really doing? Like, it's so much stuff going in so many different directions. You might as well play Mekk-knights with Sky Strikers or Mekk-knights with something else, you know, if you're going to throw all those decks together. But that's how I see it. I could be wrong. I always say that. You always want to do things, you build it for how you want to, but this is just a skeleton that I've been messing around with and does pretty well. This is online testing, not so much in real life yet, but I will be doing that. So shout out to the Wise Guys, shout out to Brandon for filming the camera, doing some camera work, and appreciate it.